lot of assistant coaches. You trust their judgment. You use them all the time. How important would a head trainer be to you? As important as those coaches?
Well, Larry, Lindsy McLean is one of the most important people in our program. He does a tremendous job with these youngsters as far as their injuries are concerned. Once they're injured, getting them ready to play, trying to prevent injuries. And a great trainer can mean an awful lot to your program, and we think we have the greatest in the country.
You consult him daily on who's ready for practice and who can take some hitting?
We usually get a report about noon the day of practice, and he'll determine with us at that time who can play and who can't. And I am a very strong believer that you cannot play football on Saturday unless you're able to play during the week. And so we do everything we can to get our players ready during the week.
Lindsy McLean takes care of injuries for the players, and it goes as far as building pads for them. And I underwent that rather unique experience with Lindsy just a few weeks ago.
Sometimes we're not totally honest in journalism. For example, a broken fibula to a second-string center, Steve Nauta, last year is the problem we're talking about now, and I decided not to break my leg before we repaired it. How did you go about fixing a pad for him?
Well, I'll show you. First of all, he had a knot. You can see on the x-rays that he was well healed, except for some callus over the old fracture site. We were concerned about him getting kicked right in the same spot. So we wanted a hard, rigid, inflexible pad which was light and would still protect him. So I'll just sort of fudge and say you've got a similar thing right in here.
Good.
You can almost feel a knot.
I just assume not have it. And there is no protection from here down, right?
Right. Generally, a football player just wears leg stockings, if that, to prevent abrasions. I'm just covering a hair, as I would and did with him to prevent that kind of irritation. And I'll put a raised piece of felt right over the spot where the fracture site was.
Nothing special about that, just felt.
Just something to raise it up so that we can protect it. Next, this is regular plaster of Paris you'd make a cast with. This allows us to formulate a surface to work off of to make a fiberglass pad. You cannot make fiberglass pads directly on the skin because the resins heat up as they interact together, and it makes a very hot, burning type material.
So we're starting out with a plaster cast from which you'll make the fiberglass pad.
Well, we make a mold of the leg, then we fill it in with a dental stone. This will have, let's just let this get hard for about 15 minutes. Then I'll show you what the mold looks like after we fill in a dental stone into this, and we make the pad off of that.
All right, we've jumped ahead a little bit in the process, taking the cast off my leg, and here it is filled in with the
dental stone, which gets very hard, and after about an hour it is in a position where we can mount it on a base to work off. And this is essentially your leg now sitting up here for us to work on. We don't have to worry about you moving. We don't have to worry about the resins reacting with the skin. You can see this ridge where we had the felt pad bridging up over the old fracture site. And now I just put the fiberglass resins in a special mix into the material and apply it directly to the base. And this will take at least 8 to 10 hours to get hard, and we'll need at least 3 to 4 layers. It's kind of messy to work with, as you can imagine, but once this gets hard, we can take a hacksaw and trim it down, just like your fiberglass, and actually fiberglass in your boat, and have a very nice pad. And as soon as this does cure, I'll show you what we have and how we're going to be able to protect you with it.
How many times a season do you get involved in building one of these?
Well, it depends on the season, of course. I've had some weeks I've had to make 3 pads just to get a team ready to play a particular game, but usually not more than 4 or 5 times a season. Okay, Larry, there's our finished product, you can see we've got a hole right where the felt pad was, and have to identify it for you. This will fit right over the spot on your leg. You feel any pain?
Nothing at all. What you're really doing with this pad is buying time for my body to finish healing itself.
Well, yes and no. Actually, it's healed, but we're just giving a little extra margin of safety and protection, and maybe psychologically you're going to feel a little bit more like going out there now and getting contact with something hard over that spot.
Yeah, you get one of these big enough for my whole body and I'll go out for football.
And I won't be legal.
You don't want to recruit that guy, huh?
Well, I just felt that the player he's working on there couldn't help us much this year.
Any year, Bo. But Lindsay does a job for you.
He's a great
day in and day out.
He sure does. He's a great one, and he's a very, very conscientious guy, and he spends a lot of time down there at that training room. He spends as much time in the training room as we do in meetings ourselves.
And yesterday, he's involved in a game situation where he had to repair Lytle's knee, or at least examine it.
Well, there was a situation when Lytle got hurt where we had to make a decision whether he should go back in or not. And Lindsay, I'm sure, consulted with Dr. O'Connor and Dr. Anderson, our team physicians, to determine whether he could come back in or not.